Welcome to VyCast, where we bring a blend of knowledge, expertise, and fun to the world of finance. Stay tuned for our exciting episode packed with insights and practical tips that will help you achieve your financial goals. Welcome to VyCast, the podcast where we do good and bank better. As the year winds down and holiday plans ramp up, it's easy to let your finances take a back seat. But before that ball drops at midnight on December 31st, there are a few powerful money moves you can make to set yourself up for a stronger, smarter financial future. To tell us how to finish the year with your finances firing on all cylinders, we are joined by Marc Streebel, Vice President of the VyStar Work program. Marc, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And Marc, let's tell everybody a little bit about what you do. You lead a community and business engagement initiative designed to bring financial education, wellness, and credit union services directly to workplaces, into nonprofits and youth organizations. So you are out there talking to people every day. What's the thing that's the most common that you hear from people when they want to know about financial education?
Well, we get so many questions to start with, but everyday things from identity theft and fraud to what goes into my credit report and how do I boost the score to how do I even create myself a budget or start saving for retirement. So it's all over the board.
Everything from the basics to the investing, right?
Absolutely.
From start to finish. Okay, so why is the end of the year such a critical time for financial planning?
Well, the end of the year is kind of your fourth quarter, if you will, of your financial planning. So you can get ready to get into next year and start making money moves for then. And it's a lot easier to be able to make corrections to things that you might want to fix this year.
And make sure that you are looking ahead to something like if you've made a mistake or you got to catch up. Okay, so what's the first money move that we should consider in the fourth quarter?
The first move I think everybody should do is just take a look at their budget overall. Maybe take a look at what kind of expenses that they have and where they can trim maybe unnecessary expenses so that they can move that over and look at putting that more towards savings or perhaps to debt management instead.
So we're not really looking to make those cuts of the year that's gone by, but really taking a look at maybe where we overspent or we could budget better for the future.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so what's another smart move that can pay off long term? Because those budget cuts, those will help you right then and there, right? That same day.
Absolutely. I think the next thing to look at then is to make sure you're maximizing your retirement options. So whether you have maybe a 401k or a traditional IRA or HSA, make sure that you're putting as much as you can into there because it's going to both increase your savings. It's going to help you with taxes, of course, as well. And it's always something that you can look forward and really take toward the next year, into the next year.
All right, you mentioned taxes, and I know you're not a tax preparer, but are there any other tax tips we should know about?
Sure. Well, one thing that people do is they take a charitable distribution from their IRA. That could help with their taxable income and reduce that. If they're in perhaps a lower tax bracket, they can also look maybe to make a change with their Roth IRA. That's always an option as well.
All right, good advice. Okay, so what does VyStar offer to help members to make smart money moves right now?
So if you have the VyStar Plus checking account, that is a great option where you can have lots of tools and resources available to you. On our financial fitness portal, we have all kinds of options for budgeting and tax tips as well. So that's a great place to start.
And there's also education. We have the free classes at the Deb store as well, the corner at Deb store. I know you've been over there as well, giving great classes. So what can members do, and even anybody who's listening, not necessarily a member, but what can they do to track their financial goals into the new year, right? Because I think sometimes people avoid looking at their finances because they don't want to feel bad about them, like, oh, I should have saved more, I should have invested more. But let's just shake that off and let's just say, what can we do to really set ourselves up for 2026?
A good first step is just simply to sit down with a VyStar representative. And that's even if you're saving for college or you're planning for retirement, no matter what life stage you're in at that point, it's good to just sit down with somebody and have a conversation. And we can talk about, debts, we could talk about tax advantages. There's even, the investment side of VyStar, which not a lot of people know that we have as well. So a lot of different resources, but find your VyStar representative first and just make an appointment to come on and sit down with them.
I feel like sometimes people that say like, well, I don't have a lot of money to invest, so what's the point of sitting down and talking with somebody? But that's your job. You sit down and talk to people with all types of money. You know, either they've got a lot of money, or they don't have a lot of money, or they understand finances, they don't understand finance. I mean, you talk to everybody. What bit of advice would you give them to say, look, just get over whatever fears you have. It's never too late to start.
That's really exactly it. It's getting over the fears and the stigma of you can't talk about money with people.
Right, there's that too,
Exactly. That's something that you just have to get over, and sitting down with a professional just to get different opinions and a goal in mind is a first place to start.
And make sure you're going to someone credible and reliable.
Yes, absolutely. So we have many of that here at VyStar.
All right, well, Marc, thank you so much for joining us. These are simple but powerful steps that you can make that are going to make a big difference. So before you close out the year, take a moment to open up your budget, review your goals, and make those money moves. At VyStar, we believe that knowledge is power, and the more you learn today, the stronger your financial future will be tomorrow. So thank you so much for tuning into VyCast. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend or family member, and remember, at VyStar, we are here to help you do good and bank better. Please make sure to subscribe to VyCast wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook at VyStar CU, Instagram and YouTube at VyStar Credit Union to give us your thoughts on a topic you'd like us to cover. We'll see you next time.